The 30-year-old former criminology student reached a plea deal earlier this month that spares him the death penalty and waives his right to appeal. The victims' families have been spared the agony and uncertain outcome of a trial, but they still don't know what turned Kohberger into a killer. He'll have a chance tomorrow to say what happened before the judge sentences him, but it's unclear if Kohberger will do so. Some people say he shouldn't have a choice on whether to speak in court. President Trump posted that the judge should force Kohberger to explain why he went on a murderous stabbing spree. The sister of one of the victims told our Brian Entin that even if Kohberger does explain a motive, it would only make sense to a psychopath.
I don't know a why. I think that even if he was hooked up to a lie detector and given truth serum, his why would be that he was just desperately trying to feel anything at all because he's a psychopath and he doesn't feel human emotions the way we do. I don't think it's a reason that would make sense to any of us because we aren't that. I think that that reasoning would only make sense to that type of, human being or whatever you want to call him.
Let's go right now to NewsNation senior correspondent Brian Entin, live for us outside the supermax prison in Idaho, where Kohberger is likely going to spend the rest of his life. Brian, you got a tour of that prison today. It's known to be a tough one.
It is, Elizabeth. They don't normally let people inside, but we just wrapped up this tour. We walked through the whole place. We're about 25 minutes south of Boise right now, really just in the middle of the desert. Right beyond that guard house behind me, that's where Bryan Kohberger will likely spend the rest of his life. And I'll tell you, after walking through the whole place, it is not a very nice existence there. Take a look at this.
So this is the Idaho Maximum Security Institution. You can see the double barbed wire. This is where the most dangerous and violent people in Idaho are housed. We're going to go inside for this tour. Very, very rare look at what it's like on the inside.
This is the area of the prison where Bryan Kohberger could end up. Long-term restrictive housing and what's known as closed custody, protective custody, where prisoners who could be hurt by the population go, or prisoners who could hurt others have to stay. The prisoners here are inside these cells 23 hours a day. All food and water is sent into the cells through these little doors. They can sit at these tables, but are secured to the tables with shackles, or put into these cages where they can use tablets for visitation. While we were watching, we saw inmates doing something called fishing, when they use strings from blankets or a t-shirt to send notes under the door. That's why these bean bags are placed at the foot of the door to stop them from doing it. Almost every inmate can buy a tablet to have in their cell for $100. It has music, email, and movies. And they can also buy a TV to keep in their cell, which has basic cable. This is the outdoor area where the prisoners can go 1 hour a day. Some have to stay in these cages because they are so dangerous. For prisoners who are in protective custody, they may also get time here in the library or the computer lab. Sexual offenders and murderers of young women and children can be shunned by the population here, which could be an issue for a high-profile inmate like Bryan Kohberger, though we're told after the newness wears off, most inmates begin to fit in.
And Elizabeth, I think the thing that surprised me the most was that every inmate, regardless of where they are, can buy a tablet for about $100 where they can actually email from their cell, and they can also buy their own TV, which will remain in the cell. But beyond that, I mean, having to stay inside a cell for 23 hours a day, there's not much that's very nice about any of it. Elizabeth?
Well, if you kill 4 people, perhaps it doesn't matter what's nice and comfortable. Brian, curious, any new details come out since the judge in this case lifted that sweeping gag order?
Not much. Most people are still staying quiet related to the case, saying that they don't want to speak until after the sentencing tomorrow. And then the judge has said it's going to be a long process as he releases documents. He wants to go through and make sure there are still redactions to certain things. And then, of course, the fact that Bryan Kohberger could technically still appeal, even though he signed the plea deal saying he won't appeal. It's still possible. So the judge has said he's even reluctant to release a lot of documents while he waits to see how the appeal process plays out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.